Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the Movie Monster March series. So I've actually drawn this monster before. I previously drew him in the ABC challenge, and today we're doing Godzilla. So he is one of my favorite classic movie monsters. I have multiple figures of him, I have a bunch of posters of him, and I just absolutely love Godzilla. So I was like, I know I already drew him for the ABC challenge, but I really want to do a cool new epic piece, because I haven't really drawn one of him in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. I haven't done a full painted piece of him. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take full advantage of Movie Monster March and draw one of my favorite movie monsters. So you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm really excited. This one is also gonna be a bit of a challenge because at least from the sketch that I planned, I have like water and fire and smoke and buildings destroyed, and I'm kind of a little hesitant on how the background's gonna turn out, but I'm gonna try my best and see how it turns out. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Hey guys, so I thought I'd chat with you guys a little bit about Godzilla while I work on this, and maybe a little bit about the art piece in general. But first of all, I had a blast with this piece. I really enjoy doing, I guess, kind of intricate line art when you have to do like scales and multiple pieces of line art, like spines and what is it, like plating, like how Godzilla has the stomach plating. I really enjoy doing that line art. It's kind of interesting because it's kind of therapeutic in a way for me. I just get lost in doing these lines over and over, and just the repetition of it is pretty therapeutic. So this one I did over the course of, oh man, I think it was on and off for about 2 to 3 days. And so it was pretty nice to come home and just work on it. And the line art actually did take a pretty long time just because of how much there was, and I had the scales, I had the plating, the overall look, and luckily there wasn't a lot of background line art, but at least for Godzilla himself there was a lot. So it was actually pretty therapeutic to go through and do the line art. But after the line art, I did struggle a bit with the color. There's a lot of different iterations of Godzilla, obviously. There's so many different movies, there's so many different directors' interpretations of it. There's just so many different Godzillas. This one I was trying to go for the traditional Godzilla look, but kind of mixed with our newer Godzilla from the recent movie, just to give it kind of a more, I don't know, reptile look. I know Godzilla is a giant lizard, but it's kind of different than the more, I guess, cartoonish Godzilla, like the original suit. It's not super cartoony, I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it. But I just tried to mash the two together and in my interpretation of Godzilla. And you know, it was a lot of fun, and I think my favorite part was actually coloring the spines and doing his blast, which is going to be later on, but I really had a lot of fun making them glow, and I just thought it was such a cool effect. But the water and the background I actually struggled with a lot. I think I touch on it in the outro a little bit, but I've been really struggling with how to paint water, because I've been looking at a lot of different artists and how they paint water, and it's hard for me to pick one way to do it. And then even if I do pick the one way, I have to really learn it and perfect it, which is another whole task in itself. For example, like if I went more, I guess, TV animated level, cartoony-ish water, there's that way to do it, which is more solid shapes. But then I don't feel that really lends well to some of the ways I paint monsters and other things. And it just is it's too big of a stark contrast between somewhat detailed rendered monster thing and then I get this cartoony water. I need to learn how to actually paint water. So then I try to do that by studying some other artists, like different Disney movies, or even like the art of video games. Like I think Guild Wars and a couple other art books I have some really nicely painted water. But it's really hard to pick which look I want to go with, and then on top of it, just learning and observing and doing a lot of practice of it is a little bit hard. Actually, probably during April, I'm thinking about taking a small break from doing YouTube videos, and during that time I think I'll catch up on, I have a couple online classes that I signed up for painting backgrounds, painting characters, and just getting better at painting in general in Photoshop. So I'll probably do that on my little bit of time off, along with catching up with production of all the stuff for Phoenix Comic Con, because man, that is coming up fast. I know it's only March, but I usually have to get all my stuff to the printer by like beginning of May, if that. So I only have a couple weeks left until everything needs to be done. So it's gonna be kind of a sprint to the end, but I'm planning on making some of these Monster Marches some new prints. So it's kind of like doing both at the same time. But I'm actually really excited to see these printed and completed, and it will be a nice little refresh for my booth because I haven't really done a huge mass amount of new prints since, oh man, it must have been like 3 years ago. 2-3 years ago was the last time I did a huge print overhaul. But besides that, you know, let's just get back to the painting and talk about Godzilla, who, like I said, is my favorite movie monster. And I will gladly admit, I actually have not seen every Godzilla movie. There are a lot. And it's not like I'm purposely avoiding them or anything. It's just sometimes I just don't have access to them. I have a couple friends who have some of them on DVD, and I mean, I could possibly find them online, but then the quality might not be good, or there's not accurate subtitles. Lots of different things, but I should really sit down and try to find all of the Godzilla movies. Because there's a couple that I actually own, like the Space Godzilla. I have a figure of him, but I haven't seen the movie that he's from at all. I think actually, where did I get that figure? I think Chad gave that one to me. I can't remember for sure, but the Space Godzilla one, I was like, I don't know where this is from, but he's pretty dang cool. So yes, I will gladly take that figure. And then the other one that I know I've seen, that luckily I saw it when I was younger, but I still like the other Godzilla more. Do you guys remember the US release of the Godzilla movie in 1998? Like, that awful raptor looking Godzilla? Like, if it wasn't dubbed Godzilla, it would actually be kind of a cool looking creature. But to take Godzilla and make him this weird raptor thing, that was too far. They crossed the line. You can't tamper with our glorious Godzilla. But actually recently, I didn't fully rewatch it. It was on Netflix, I think, for a couple of months. But I went back and just watched a little bit of the American release Godzilla, and oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad, guys. But at least the newest American release Godzilla made up for it. That one was actually pretty decent. A lot of the complaints that I heard from my friends is that they wanted to see more Godzilla, which I agree. Like, there wasn't really a lot. It was just kind of that big fight towards the end, and then like a couple scenes here and there, just like little snippets of Godzilla. But it wasn't like completely filled with Godzilla. It just had him here and there, but I kind of like that. It kind of harkens back to how some of the older movies felt. Like, obviously the original Godzilla, it was a lot of Godzilla, but at the same time it wasn't. You know, it focused on kind of the human characters and just the environment in general. So I think it was a good way to set up for the next movie. I think they're releasing another Godzilla, at least an American version of Godzilla. I think if they are releasing a second one, that one was more to set up the story, and then the next one should have a lot more fight scenes and a lot more action for Godzilla. But yeah, I really need to go through and watch all of them, because I only know a few of the villains. Like, I know Mothra and like the Mecha Godzilla. I'm trying to think what else. King something. It was the three-headed dragon. I think it was Ghidorah? Yes? I don't remember. But I know a couple of them, but when I was looking up a few, I haven't seen a lot of them. Like, I just wanted to do a quick search before this, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen a lot of movies because I don't recognize a lot of these villains. And then even just the different versions of Godzilla, I don't know. So, yeah, I need to sit down and watch them. That'll be on my to-do of when Katelyn eventually has time. But I think I'm getting kind of closer to finishing up this speed paint, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of it and enjoy the music, and I'll see you at the end. Bye, guys. All right, so I'm all done. I really like how this turned out. Again, I said this in the intro, but I'm still trying to get familiar with how to paint backgrounds. I'm actually gonna be taking an online class pretty soon on how to paint really good backgrounds, because that's, I feel, my weakest point. I still like how this turned out, and I feel I'm slowly getting better, but overall, I still really love this piece. I especially like all the glowing that I put on him. The previous piece I painted of Godzilla was more of just him with some demolished buildings around him, but I didn't really add any cool effects. And I was like, you know, this one, I'm gonna have him do his blast and have all his spines light up. It's gonna be super cool, and I really like how it turned out. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by and checking out this video, and I hope you've been enjoying Movie Monster March, and I wanted to let you guys know that this piece in particular is going to be the second Photoshop file of the month. So if you want to check this out, see all the layers and all the effects I apply to them, you can go over to my Patreon and download this file for yourself. I have a lot of other great goodies over there, like I have the Photoshop files of the month, monthly sketch postcards, and a lot of other behind the scenes artwork. So again, thanks guys for stopping by, and I will see you in the next edition of Movie Monster March. Bye guys.